Conflict resolution is a skill that each and every one of us needs to have. But it's a skill that pastor's wife particularly must not be without. Because resolving conflicts as a pastor's wife is quite different. You are not just trying to manage the issue, at the same time you're trying to manage visibility. Welcome back to Times of Refreshing Encouragement for Pastors' Wives. My name is Tonya Conley, and if you're new here, you're very welcome. Here we talk about our calling, our joy, and our challenges. And I want to use this opportunity to invite you to join our community of pastors' wives so that together we can enhance, build one another, and encourage and support one another. Don't go anywhere. We'll be right back. Welcome back. Our topic today again is how to handle conflict when the whole church is watching. It is good to know that conflict handled publicly can actually cause private damage. So it is very important for us to know that it is not good to respond under pressure, but to respond to principle. It is good to slow down and choose wisdom over reaction. One of the things we have to know is that handling conflict for a pastor's wife is different from every other person. Like I said earlier, as a pastor's wife, when you handle conflict, you're not just handling the issue. You are actually managing visibility. And what you portray matters a lot to your church congregation and to God also. And today I'm just going to be talking about some of the things you and I can do as pastor's wife so that we can handle the conflict amicably and so that it does not result into, private damage, like we said earlier. So what are some of the things you can do as a pastor's wife so that you would actually be able to have a very good outcome for managing the issue and also managing, visibility? The first thing I want to talk about is separate the conflict from the audience. We must know that not every issue deserves a stage. It is good to remind ourselves that conflict is personal and not performative. The church does not need a front row seat at all to process every issue. At times, silence is not avoidance, but it's a strategy. The Bible actually says, a soft answer turneth away wrath. And the second thing I want to encourage you is not to react immediately things happen. Because when emotions are high, wisdom pauses. You do not have to respond out of embarrassment or defend yourself impulsively all the time. It is also good to know that you might leave the issue unaddressed when emotions are completely charged. So what do you need to do? Pray first. Process the situation, privately. Seek God's perspective before you address the issue. And the third thing to do is to lean on God, not public validation. When there's conflict and everyone is watching, the temptation is to prove your side. But it is good to know that God is our defender. He's our vindicator. Peace is actually more valuable to anybody than being right. Remember that the Bible says God would fight for you and I, and we will hold our peace according to Exodus 14:14. So it's good also to use boundary and not explanation. One of the hardest lessons is realizing you don't hold everyone clarity. Because some conflicts requires pastoral covering. It requires trusted counsel. It requires time and discretion, not discussing with everybody, explaining it to everybody. It should not be a public statement. And the next one is that it's good for us to model Christ and not perfection. People would always talk. That is the truth. They will always talk. They are watching for grace. You should ask yourself, am I responding with humility? Am I protecting unity? Am I honoring God than my own image? Because God would always bless those who are peacemakers, according to the Bible. So I really want to encourage you that conflict will always come. But when the whole church is watching, you must remember that God is watching also, and is the first one that is watching you. And you and I, as pastors' wives, we answer to him. What would God expect you? How would he expect you to react? He will expect you to choose prayer over pressure. He will expect you to protect peace more than perception. He will want you to know that not every conflict deserves a public response. And silence, when guided by wisdom, is actually very powerful. If you are going through this, please, you can take some of these steps and see how it will work out for you. Because at the end of the day, when you take steps like this, and you are not harsh or rash about your decision, you will find out that you are able to actually resolve that conflict amicably, and everybody will be fine and happy. I also want you to go ahead and share this with everyone in your sphere of influence. This might help somebody. Don't forget to like, don't forget to share. Don't forget to click on the notification bell if you're watching from YouTube, so that every time our broadcast comes up, you'll be the first one to know. Subscribe, and the Lord will bless you. Until next time on Times of Refreshing, have a peaceful, wonderful time. Bye-bye.